You ever feel like you're getting left behind? Every time you drive by a property like this, the people are developing, they've got electrical getting ran, little orange flags everywhere, they've got a hotel being built, all this multifamily, guys are throwing up bricks on buildings that you don't even own. There was a point where I used to feel like I was falling behind. And then I figured out how to get into real estate. And then more importantly, I figured out how to compound my success to get into bigger assets like the one we're gonna talk about today, Stonebrook. So the question is, how do I get started in real estate? Couple of things. First and foremost, it's not how, it's always who. Who can you get around? Go to our free Creative Finance Facebook group. You guys can go in there and meet with a lot of my successful students, a lot of people that are in your local geographical area. Like tonight, we're gonna have a meetup here in North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, 200-300 people will show up. Those are the people you need to get to know. Stop asking how, start asking who. So specifically for me, how did I get started in multifamily? It wasn't until I met my current partner, Vina Jetty. This is a property that we own together. A property in Raleigh, it's actually not Raleigh, it's in the Research Triangle between Raleigh and Winston-Salem. It's almost 200 units, And the fact that I can stand on the pavement here and say that I'm a part owner of 200 units here is unbelievable. There was a point where I would drive by and point at buildings like this and say, one day I'll become an owner. So here's the steps to get started in multifamily. Step number one, here's what I would do. I would invest in somebody else's fund as an LP, a limited partner. I would look at successful groups. There's Brandon Turner's, there's Grant Cardone. If you like Grant Cardone, you know, some people love him, some people hate him. That's, I think, the powerful polarizing part of Grant Cardone, which is why he's one of the greatest marketers on the planet. You find a Vina Jetty, a Pace Morby. You find people that are doing big deals and you say, how can I invest as an LP? Now, what does an LP do? Well, the LP doesn't have to find the deal. They don't have to negotiate, put the team together. They don't have to manage the asset. They just get passive income. Truly, is there such thing as passive income? There's people out there that say there is no such thing as passive income, and the reality is that is incorrect. If you invest as an LP on a big asset like this, you get a check either monthly or quarterly based on the way that they structured the fund. Now, why would I start as an LP in somebody else's instead of just going and doing my own? Well, there's mindset things that you break through. There's momentum. There's conversations you now get to have with the people you invested with that they're like, yo, this person invested in my property. I'm willing to give them their time because they're not just somebody in my DMs or my YouTube comments asking me a bunch of silly questions I've asked 1,000 times and those people just didn't feel like doing the research and typing something in. They're just trying to steal my time. But when you cut a check to get into somebody's fund, like we have a fund called the Subto.com. My editor will put it on the screen, link in the description down below. How can I invest with a Pace Morby? Well, go to Subto.com. How do I invest with Vina Jetty? Well, DM her on Instagram and ask her, how can you invest with her? Becoming an LP gives you passive income. It gives you ownership. It gives you bragging rights. It gives you credibility. It gives you the ability that you can go to a seller if you're actively negotiating with sellers and say, look, I'm a partner on a big asset in North Carolina, 100 and almost 200 units. That is the easiest way to get into multifamily. What's the next level? The next level is step number 2, become a fund of funds. Write that down, take note. I'm gonna do multiple videos on the YouTube channel all about fund of funds. What it means is, let's say that Vina Jetty, okay, one of my good friends, we'll pop her up on the screen. Vina Jetty goes, I found this asset, we're gonna buy it for 40 million, but I gotta go raise $12 million to get this deal done and go get a loan for 28 million. Well, she's gotta find investors to bring that $12 million to the table. So wouldn't it be cool if you, yes you, or me, told Vina, hey Vina, you know that $12 million that you've got to raise? How about I raise $1 million of it for you through my fund? Okay, so you create a fund, a legal structure called a fund. You bring $1 million of your known associates, your friends, your family into your fund, and then your fund invests the money into Vina's fund. This is called a fund of funds. What does it do for you? It means that you can now become a part owner by leveraging money into her deal. You don't have to have any money out of your pocket. You didn't have to find the asset. You didn't have to put the team together. You didn't have to have the payroll, the office, or any of that kind of stuff. You get to leverage the backbone of Vina Jetty on a property like this, or leverage the credibility of a Pace Morby. Like right now, we've got 160 unit multifamily on seller finance. By the way, on seller finance. If you guys want to see more about that deal, I'll give you a link to the Zoom that we did recently in the description down below. And you can either A, become an LP, a limited partner, or B, do a fund of funds with me and go, wait, Pace, I can tell people that this is my project? I go, yeah, well, it is. You're raising $1 million for the project. Yes, it's your project. So easiest way to get started in multifamily, step number 1, become an LP in somebody else's investment. 2, become a fund of funds. And then 3, there you go. Now this is where things get cooking. Number 3 is you've now asked 1,000 questions while being an LP, 2,000 questions by being a fund of funds. You have the credibility. You know how the paperwork works. You now see how the acquisition people are finding the deals and getting their hands on stuff like this. Did I trick everybody? They think I'm in the same spot? Now, you've seen how the money gets raised. You've seen how the paperwork goes. You've been on Zooms. You've seen and maybe walk the properties. You have gotten a front row seat into a multifamily education that other people wish they had. Again, start as an LP. Stop trying to go out and do your own multifamily. Invest in somebody else's project and get some credibility, get some momentum. 2, fund of funds. Boom, unbelievable education. Step number 3 is you can now start your own fund. Now, this is where the questions that most people are asking me start becoming relevant. Because the problem is, all these doors, take all these doors for example. Door number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all these doors. You're there, door number 1 right now. You haven't even opened a door number 1 and you're asking people, what is inside door number 12? You haven't gotten there yet. Start with door number 1. In fact, what's inside door number 1 might be the key to opening up door number 12. And that's the thing that people miss with multifamily is they go, how do I start in multifamily? And you're asking, how do I get into multifamily by skipping doors 1 through 11? You have no credibility. You have no ability to negotiate. You have no ability to underwrite. You have no ability to raise money. You have no ability to do all of these big things that multifamily requires. So start with door number 1. Door number 1 is invest as an LP in somebody else. Start as now raising money for somebody else's project. Maybe do that 1 or 2 times. My first foray into multifamily, I bought small multifamily deals, 30, 50, 60 units on seller finance. But when I decided I want to go out and do syndications, I didn't go and try and reinvent the wheel. I went to Vina Jetty and I became an LP in some of her stuff. I then asked Vina Jetty and other investors, how can I be a fund of funds? And I can learn the process. You get $300,000-$400,000 of education by just doing that and skipping all that stuff. You guys are trying to go into door number 12. Again, what if the key to door number 12 is in door number 1? And that truly is my belief. My belief is that becoming an LP and doing fund of funds is the key to all the other doors, okay? Now, you wanna move on. You wanna do your own fund. By this time, again, you've acquired all the skills. You wanna start finding and looking for deals. That's another video for another day. So here's what I'll do. I'll do a part 2 of this, and what we'll do is we'll show you guys how to do a fund of funds or how to here's what we'll do. The video topic will be how to start in multifamily part 2, and it will show you guys how to become an LP, the benefits of being an LP, and how to start as a fund of funds. That's door number 2, bada bing, bada boom, door number 2, and we'll put those into a video that Vina Jetty, maybe one of my underwriters or somebody else on my team, maybe Ted Head, the head of my fund at subtofund.com. By the way, if you guys want to invest as an LP with me, go to subtofund.com, and we'll do a whole training on how to do those 2 things. We'll change your lives. If you guys haven't already, please like, please subscribe, make some comments and questions down below so that we know what videos to make next. And hopefully one day you can be a part owner with us on a $40 million project that's close to 200 units.